Yo, yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. I'm never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes. Pieces is a form of art. I'm never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes.
Hello everyone, hello. Well, how'd you like the new intro? And how do you like the switcheroo I did? I hope you like it. I do. I hope everyone had a wonderful day. First off, this is my first live since I've been back. Dang, I haven't been live in Sunday 3 days. Has anyone missed me? I know you guys missed me, right? Okay, so I'm just going to say this to start off before anyone says anything. The GoFundMe that I have pinned at the top is for Chad Dorman's family. For the mother and the daughter that survived the tragic event. That's what that GoFundMe is pinned at the top for. So let's see. Today, first we're going to talk about, you guys, I thought today I was going to talk about Richard Allen, and I was going through the court documents, making notes of each document, because I don't want to sit here and read every, dude, it's 200 and almost 250 pages. I'm not sitting here reading all them pages. And no, I love you guys, but no. So what I'm doing is I'm reading the documents and then I'm making notes of the order that the judge ordered so that we would just know. Without reading everything, we would know what it is. The only thing that I will read though on that case is the probable cause affidavit. I will read that even though it's lengthy. I still want to go through that with you guys. So that's all I want to say about that. I really thought I was going live about that today because I had switched it. I was going, but it was a lot of pages to go through, and I think I'm gonna have to do like part 1 and part 2. But I was like, oh my god, I have so many hours to read all of this and make notes. And yeah, I was like, and then when I went to change it live, I was like, phew, it was not today, so I have another day. So I am going live tomorrow on July 4th. I understand that a lot of people will not be home, will be out celebrating America's independence with their family, barbecuing, going to the pool, going to the beach, whatever you plan on doing. I hope you have a safe July 4th, for 1. And for 2, I'm gonna go live before I bring Nevaeh to the fireworks, because she asked me to bring her, and that's a lot coming from her at her age right now. She absolutely hates me. So I'm trying to rebuild a relationship with her now that I'm back. So I'm gonna bring her since she asked me. But I'm gonna live before, and it's okay if nobody's in there, like nobody's in here now, because I know people will watch the replay, and that's perfectly fine as long as you watching. Anyway, today I keep saying today. So right now I'm gonna start off with Alexee Trevizo, the baby killer, hospital bathroom baby killer. Now, everybody, even them, they were like, oh, she didn't know she was pregnant, poor thing, blase blah blah. Well, I saw some cheerleading pictures of this little, can't call her, hey Sally Mae, thank you for being here. You can't call her anything but a monster for what she did. But I want y'all to see these pictures. They're kind of blurry, but you can't tell me that no one knew. Let me make it bigger. Hold on. Let me see if I can. No. These are very blurry for some reason, but tell me that she didn't know she was pregnant. That's a cheerleader. Tell me no one, absolutely no one knew she was pregnant, right? What kind of drugs these people in this town smoking? Because that obviously looks like a baby, like a huge baby bump, you know what I mean? Watch, they have more. Look at this one. You can see from the front, the belly. You guys see that? But she didn't know she was pregnant, right? Let's see. I think they have more. Yep. Her on the side at the basketball game. Again, where it's circled, you can see the baby bump. And again, to the side. You guys, come on. This is really sickening. So yeah, you can't tell me that she didn't know she was pregnant. And then also I noticed in the hospital she was wearing those very, very loose clothes. And then whenever, do you guys see that on the screen? Do you guys see where it says couple left terrified after 5-foot alligator sneaks into home through the dog door? Sorry for changing the subject. I was looking at the picture and saw the alligator. Okay. Yeah. Oh, wait. This is only a month before, 3 weeks before she gave birth. Right here. This is a 9-month pregnant girl with a 7-pound baby. Wow. Oh, man. So now, the autopsy of the baby is back, and I want to share that with you guys. Alexee Trevizo baby autopsy report. Death cause, father, and case details. Alexee Trevizo baby autopsy report has enraged the netizens. Is that what we are, netizens? This case has caught the attention of many media and people. Alexee Trevizo was arrested on May 11, 2023 for allegedly killing her newborn son. Alexee Trevizo, a 19-year-old woman from Artesia, New Mexico, is facing a first-degree murder charge for killing her newborn baby and disposing of his body in a trash can at a hospital. In addition, she faced accusations of child abuse that led to the tragic loss of life, as well as the act of tampering with evidence. Her initial court appearance was set to take place in Artesia Magistrate Court, presiding over by Judge Jimmy Foster. This is the second high-profile case involving child abuse in New Mexico. And then here's the autopsy report. The autopsy revealed that the newborn did not have any physical abnormalities or injuries at birth. It was observed that air was present in the lungs and stomach, suggesting that the baby was likely born alive after a full 38 weeks of pregnancy. The autopsy indicated that the baby might have suffocated. According to the report, the cause of death was attributed to oxygen deprivation in a confined environment, known as entrapment, and the manner of death was classified as homicide. Yes. Alexee Trevizo was scheduled to make her first appearance on the charges in Artesia Magistrate Court before Judge Jimmy Foster. If convicted, she could face life in prison without parole. Is Alexee Trevizo baby death caused the father? I think this is like, Penelope, you can't be climbing on my laptop. I think like this is worded wrong. It is Alexee Trevizo's baby daddy in the cause of death. Did he have anything to do with the cause of the death? Based on my research, the information available does not mention the involvement of the baby's father in this particular case, nor does it suggest any connection between him and the tragic death of the infant baby. That information provided does not indicate any connection or involvement of the father in the tragic incident. The case is still going on, so further details or developments regarding the case may not have been disclosed or reported. Alexee Trevizo was a 19-year-old woman from Artesia, New Mexico, who was accused of murdering her newborn son at a hospital on January 27, 2023. According to the criminal complaint filed by the Artesia Police Department, Trevizo went to the Artesia General Hospital with lower back pain and was told by a nurse that she was pregnant. Trevizo then locked herself in a bathroom and gave birth to a baby boy, who was later found not breathing in a trash bag inside the home. The hospital staff tried to resuscitate the baby, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. An autopsy revealed that the baby died of asphyxia due to suffocation and that he was born alive in full term. The death was ruled a homicide. Washington Post and Law and Crime both mentioned that Trevizo was arrested on May 10, 2023 after a 4-month investigation. She was charged with 1 count of first-degree murder and 1 count of tampering with evidence. According to Gary C. Mitchell, an attorney representing Trevizo, he stated that his client has no prior criminal record and should not be charged with murder. Okay, so if I go out and do the same exact thing that Alexee did, I have no criminal background. You run my background check, it's an empty piece of paper. So you're telling me if I do this, then I shouldn't be charged with murder? Negative, sir. Mitchell emphasized that there are significant inconsistencies regarding the events that took place at the hospital. He argued that this particular case does not fit the typical pattern of child abuse. You legit had a baby in a bathroom and threw him away. That's child abuse. The baby was born alive. You threw him away. She was initially held at the Eddy County Detention Center without bond, but on May 18, 2023, she was released on a $100,000 unsecured bond with some conditions. The hospital staff informed Trevizo that they would enter the bathroom, and she unlocked the door for them. The nursing staff reported to the police the bathroom was covered in blood, prompting immediate medical attention for Alexee. I'm not playing a TikTok video because they had some piano music in one, and yeah, I had to edit it out. Staff conducted a thorough search of the toilet and the surface of the trash, but found nothing. However, during the cleanup process, an employee noticed that the trash bag was unusually heavy. Following this discovery, 2 nurses examined the bag and discovered a lifeless newborn boy inside. The baby was cold and displayed no signs of life, as documented in a court record. I already read this. Alexee has been accused of first-degree murder in connection with the death of her newborn son in January. That sounds so wonderful, the death of her newborn son. I wonder how she really feels about that. You guys knew she knew she was pregnant. Get out of here. According to a criminal complaint filed in Eddy County, Alexee Trevizo is also facing charges of evidence tampering. I'm spelling her name wrong, or they're spelling her name wrong, but I've seen it spelled like that. Okay, I'm going to have to look it up after. Artesia police reported that Alexee had visited the emergency room in late December due to back pain, and subsequent laboratory tests confirmed her pregnancy and labor. Okay, that's a picture. Following the birth of a baby boy on January 27th, she allegedly placed the infant in a bag and concealed it under other trash in a bathroom where she had locked herself, as stated by investigators. According to investigators, when the baby was eventually discovered, it had already passed away and Alexee had left the hospital. The autopsy report classified the cause of death as homicide. Update. On Thursday, Gary C. Mitchell, the attorney representing Trevizo, yeah, it's them spelling it wrong because it's Trevizo, stated that his client has no prior criminal history and should not be charged with murder. He argued that there are no... I read all this. A court hearing has been scheduled for Friday to evaluate the terms of release. This is the second notable case in New Mexico recently involving a mother and a newborn. A jury found Alexee, age 19, guilty of discarding her newborn baby into an outdoor trash can in a... Her name was Alexee and she was 19 too? What? A jury found Alexee, age 19, guilty of discarding her newborn baby into an outdoor trash container in Hobbs, New Mexico, in January 2020. How crazy! Fortunately, the child survived, and she received a prison sentence of 16 years on May 1st. Hey, fun size! Wow! According to Gary C. Mitchell, an attorney representing Trevizo, he stated that his client has no... Yeah, we already know that. Why are you repeating this? Okay, that's the end of that. So... Oh my god. I have a question though, if any of you guys know. Hold on, let me go back and... I totally just forgot. This is freaking so... let's see. Oh, did y'all see her at her prom like only a couple of weeks, or maybe a couple of days or something after this incident? Damn, I can't think of the alright, I'm gonna think of it. Let's see. Let me see if I could find her her Alexee Trevizo prom picture. Alright, here we go. Hold on, let's pulling up a TikTok video. I'm just gonna leave it like this. Okay, here we go. So this is only no. So this is a couple of months after the incident. Do you see this? I didn't want to play it because of the stupid sound. Yep, 3 months after. Sad, man, sad. Her trial starts October 2nd. And I will be covering it if it is streamed. I will absolutely be covering it. Now on to Mr. Adam Fravel. Oh, rest in peace, Madeline Kingsbury. Alright, let me pull up this one. I think this is pretty much going to be a short live, because I really don't have like that much stuff for the updates. Oh yeah, I do need to see, before I go into Adam, let me say real quick, Majorjon Kaylor, the guy that, okay, sorry, my dad texted me my aunt had to go to the emergency room. She has Parkinson's disease, and now she has the C word, so they had to rush her to the ER. My dad was just letting me know what was going on, so I'm sorry for that. Majorjon Kaylor, the guy in northern Idaho that killed 4 of his neighbors because the 18-year-old neighbor exposed himself in front of the window, and Majorjon Kaylor's 2 minor daughters and his wife saw this. They made a police report. The police sent the report to the DA for them to charge the guy. Well, it didn't happen fast enough for Mr. Majorjon. So he took it upon himself and he went and killed 4 people. Now, they're not going to be pursuing the death penalty. I was on panel on another channel last night, and a possibility of why they're not going after the death penalty is maybe because of the law enforcement, the police report. Hey, Teresa. The police report, you know, being maybe delayed, sent to the DA's office. They did make a report about it. I don't know if that could be like a reason why they would not give him the death penalty, but that would be the only reason why I would see, because Brian's getting it for a quadruple. This is a quadruple. Lori was going to get it until prosecution messed up. Chad's going for the death penalty. Why not this person? They're all Idaho, and it's 4 people just like Brian. And thinking it has to do with the nature of the crime, the fact that they reported it, and all this and that, like maybe they felt like they failed the daughters. I'm not sure. We'll find out hopefully very soon. That's what I want to talk about. He had a preliminary hearing today. Khori TV and KTVB, a local news station there, was approved to be in the courtroom and film it. So I'm waiting for Khori TV to drop that hearing. If it's dropped tonight, I am going live and playing it. Whenever it's dropped, and well, of course, if it's like midnight, you know, I understand that I'm back on the like West Coast time zones, and everybody is 2 hours, 3 hours ahead of me. So, you know, I do take that into consideration. So I know if I go live at 10, it's mostly midnight 1, where, you know, majority of the people that watch me live. So I do try to take that into consideration. So yeah, I can't wait to see the preliminary hearing on that. Like I said, as soon as they drop it, I will be playing it. Okay, so let's see this Adam Fravel dude. He's just sickening. So he evidently had visitation with his children, who are now in the custody of Madeline's parents. Well, he had visitation with his children while locked up, but for some reason those visits were suspended, not terminated, and they were very well, you know, clear on that. They were suspended, not terminated. So let's see. So evidently this dude Adam was infatuated with Gabby Petito, And he actually told Madeline, if you don't listen, you will wind up like Gabby Petito. And look what happened to her.
Do you ever wake up in a bad mood sometimes and think, is this day ever going to?
Admitted to investigators to being, quote, infatuated with the Gabby Petito murder case, and the complaint alleges he told his ex-partner, Madeline Kingsbury, if she didn't, quote, listen up, she would end up like Petito.
Do you ever wake up
Okay, fun size. See you later. I hope you guys cannot hear this. If you guys can hear the vacuum cleaner, I'm going to mute myself and go ahead and play the video of Kegan Kline's interview. Hold, I'm gonna mute myself and play that and then come back.
Investigators say marks on a single bullet found near the bodies tie Allen to the killings of the girls. Court documents state several witnesses say they saw Allen on the Monon High Bridge around the time the girls disappeared. The documents detail an interview police had with Allen back in 2017, where he told investigators he was on the trail from 1:30 to 3:30 that day. Surveillance video shows a car matching Allen's in the area at the time of the crime. Court documents state the video Libby took on her phone shows Abby walking on the Monon High Bridge when a man wearing a dark jacket and jeans walks behind her. They go on to say one of the girls mentions gun before being told, guys, down the hill. That audio was later released to help with the investigation. Documents say the video ends shortly after the girls start to walk down the hill. Allen was interviewed a second time where he told investigators he was on the trail that day wearing blue jeans and a blue or black Carhartt jacket with a hood. Documents say during a search at Allen's home, police found clothing that matches what was worn by the alleged killer. They also found a gun that belonged to Allen. Analysis on that gun found the bullet found near the girls' bodies had been inside Allen's gun. Allen told police he never let anyone borrow it. What we still don't know is how the two teens died.
This has been one of the biggest mysteries in the country since 2017. Who killed Abigail Williams and Liberty German? Prosecutors say it was a local CVS employee, Richard Allen, that he's responsible for killing two teens. He was arrested last year and is expected to stand trial for those murders, but there's another man, Kegan Kline. He's long been linked to this case, and though he's never been charged, investigators say that Kline used a phony social media account under the name Anthony Shots, and he used that to communicate with underage girls online. And that account is also known to have been communicating with Liberty German just before the murders occurred. And while Kegan Kline has never been charged, I want to emphasize that in connection with the Delphi murders, he has been charged with more than 24 crimes, including child exploitation and possession of child pornography. Now, Kline was expected to be sentenced last week because he pleaded guilty to those child pornography charges, but he withdrew that. And our friends Anya Kane and Kevin Greenlee from the Murder Sheet podcast, they had a chance to speak with him from behind bars there in
How do you plead guilty and then recant that and say, oh no, I'm not guilty? That doesn't make any sense to me.
In Indiana. And before we get into the specifics of Kline's case, here's some of what he told them about the Delphi murders.
Do you feel you have information to speak with authorities on that case?
I've already tried. They don't want to hear anything I have to say. So, and I've met with the prosecutor there, and I mean, yeah.
You've met with Nick McClelland?
Yeah.
Can you tell us anything about what he was like or what that experience was like?
I mean, he's a real nice guy. I mean, he was really super nice.
And this is big. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I can't really get into any more details, you know what I mean? But
that's understandable.
I mean, he was a real nice guy, and yeah, I met with everyone.
And this is big. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I can't really get into any more details, you know what I mean? And I've met with the prosecutor there, and I mean, yeah.
You've met with Nick McClelland?
Yeah.
Can you tell us anything about what he was like or what that experience was like?
I mean, he's a real nice guy. I mean, he was really super nice.
And this is big. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I can't really get into any more details, you know what I mean? But
that's understandable.
I mean, he was a real nice guy, and yeah, I met with everyone.
Do you have a sense about why they don't want to hear it? This is just kind of a broad, big picture question.
They just said they don't believe me.
Okay.
Or they can't corroborate what I said.
I'm pretty sure I read that they don't want to hear what you have to say because you're trying to make a deal with them to get the story. And they don't want to. Therefore, they have nothing to say or nothing that they want to hear from you. So don't blame it on them. Blame
it. Pretty much.
I'm just curious, did you know Richard Allen?
No.
Okay.
No. People said that he worked in Peru or lived in Peru around whatever year. I can't remember, but someone on some podcast was saying, oh, well, he lived right down the road from him in 2004. Like, dude, I was 9 or 10 years old. Why would I know a grown man, you know? Things like that.
I mean, I guess, is there anything you wanted to state for the record or anything about some, the coverage or that you would want the public to know?
When I get to prison, I definitely will send you a letter because I want to talk about some of the Delphi stuff. But right now, I don't think that would be smart to do.
Okay.
After I'm sentenced, you know what I mean? Yeah, I would like to say a few things for sure about that.
All right, we do have our two special guests who are soon going to be joining us tonight from Indianapolis, but I want to play a little bit more sound from the Murder Sheet podcast, that interview with Kegan Kline, where he discusses something close to explaining why he is not going to go forward with the sentencing, why he may want to withdraw things and not go forward with that guilty plea. I do want to offer the information that we have not been able to independently verify some of the claims that he makes against a relative, but take a listen to what he has to say about why he changed up lawyers right at the 11th hour.
That's why I brought up to Andrew on.
Hey, Kay Curry. Oh, you're not a mod under that name. Hold on. I don't have a mod in here. Hold on. I need you to delete that comment because I messed it up. I don't think I can. Oh, shoot. Hold on. I have it. You don't have audio? Okay. Hold on. Okay, let me erase this one. I'm sorry, guys. It's bothering me because it's not right. Hold on. Why is it? Okay, I'm gonna leave it like that. Okay, that's good. Okay, if you're who I think you are, I just modded you. Okay.
On Wednesday, that's why the court went, an hour or so later than what it should have started, because I was like, Andrew, what is going on? How do I not see these after 3 years of being here? How do I not get my paperwork? And he called, and I heard his secretary say, well, we don't know 100% that we sell everything to him. And I just looked at him like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, I know you're a public defender. I'm not paying you, but, like, you have an obligation as a lawyer to get me all my stuff. If I'm about to take a 20-year sentence, I want to see every paperwork, everything that's ever been said, I don't know the law, so I just listen to everything my lawyer tells me. So when I don't see any of this paperwork, it's like, are you kidding me, dude? I talked about going to trial the whole time over it. And then he was like, well, they're not going to give you a deal. So, And then Wednesday, he goes, well, maybe we should have taken that 10-year plea. I'm like, dude, you've never told me about a plea ever until right now. I don't know. He's just, I don't know. It's really bad on his side as a lawyer. I don't know what you would call it, legal term, but yeah, it's just crazy.
Let's bring in our special guest from the Murder Sheet podcast. Thank you both for being on with us. Anya Kane and Kevin Greenlee. You're my definition of
I know that they are never going to see this, but I just want to say thank you to them for doing that interview. Now we're going to see maybe who they are and how it was with the interview. Let's find out.
Of a power couple, journalist, lawyer, together following this case so closely. You all are the resident experts on it. Can you talk to me about first how you were able to get this kind of an interview with a man who's still in the midst of his litigation?
The process got started actually a couple of weeks ago. We had an interview on the show with Kegan Kline's former girlfriend. He heard about that and he reached out to us via text and indicated he wanted to know what she had to say. And in the past, we'd asked him to do an interview with us, and he said he'd only do it if we would pay him. And we didn't want to pay him, and we said, we'd be happy to talk to you about what your former girlfriend said, but we're not going to pay you. And if you want to come on the podcast, we can have a conversation about everything. And to our surprise, honestly, he agreed.
I know from the interview that is posted on the podcast that you made it clear to those who are watching, those who are listening, that he would only do it if you didn't get into too many questions about Richard Allen and the Delphi murders. But it seemed that he was forthcoming with some things on his own. Did you learn anything new from what he had to say about the Delphi murders?
It's a great question. I think it was interesting getting him on the record, noting that he's saying he does not know Richard Allen at all. We're sort of getting his side of that at this point. And sort of getting some of that on the record is helpful for us because, we can say that here's his line in the sand. He's saying he's not involved. He's saying he doesn't know this person.
Kegan Kline, he wants to get a plea deal to tell the Delphi murder story, but he's not, and evidently the lawyer that he fired didn't tell him about a 10-year plea when he's going for a 20-year sentence. I would be mad too if I was him. But hold on.
And I think that's helpful because there's so many rumors.
I had to go back and see what they were talking about. Kline says he doesn't know Richard Allen. However, they are both from two very small cities that are next to each other. And those two cities are, I would say, maybe kind of like Moscow and Pullman, where everybody knows your name, kind of like Cheers. You know what I mean? So it is a very good possibility that they have run into each other, that they do know each other, and of course they have to know each other for all this to happen. But
rumors, right, that spread online about links between people, and so when you're asking one of the two people sort of, do you actually know this person, and they're saying blankly no, then I think that's, maybe furthers all of our understanding.
And I also frankly thought it was interesting that he confirmed that he had a conversation at some point with prosecutor Nick McClelland. And I think it's worth stressing to the viewers that Nick McClelland is the prosecutor in the Delphi murders case. He is not the prosecutor in the child sexual abuse materials cases. So presumably the topic of that conversation could only be matters related to the Delphi murders.
I wanted to ask you that question. It's a great segue because you've been inside of the courtroom for all of the hearings when it comes to the Delphi murders, but I wanted to know with Kegan Kline, have you been in the courtroom, and do you notice sometimes prosecutors from other cases want to pay attention to everything that's happening in a case that could impact their case? Have you noticed that, gotten any sense of that there?
That's a great question. Yeah, we've been to pretty much all of Kegan's hearings, I think, pre-trial hearings, and have sort of tried to kind of watch about who's there. I mean, there's often a media presence. As far as other prosecutors, we've not necessarily seen that, but I can say that in the most recent hearing, what was supposed to be a sentencing hearing, there were a number of law enforcement officials who, have, potentially worked on the Delphi case there. And I think that's not surprising because I think the investigation into Kegan at the very least stemmed from the Delphi murders. Whether it turns out to be ultimately linked is anybody's guess at this point. He says it's not. A number of people wonder if it is. But at the same time, I think at the very least, the investigation into the murders of these two girls has led to other investigations into crimes against children.
It's important. Sometimes it's a tragic link between all of these cases. We've been saying the link, but can we dig into that for a second just to let people who may be catching up with this story, how much do we know about the communications that Kline was having with Liberty? Has that been released to the public? Do we know exactly what's in it? Do we know summaries about what's in it?
Yeah, basically all we have is a transcript from August 2020 after Kegan Kline was arrested on the CSAM charges. And you have two investigators essentially confronting him, saying that they know that he was in contact with Liberty German before her death through his Anthony Shots account. And so
Okay, I figured that's what you were talking about, Teresa. Absolutely. In some form or fashion, they do know each other. They're not gonna admit it, but I'm sure they do know each other because I think they are both in together with this. Possibly Kegan's dad, I'm not sure. And also, the guy that their bodies were found, his property. But I think is he deceased now? Because I'm just now getting into this stuff since Richard Allen was arrested. So I'm not too informative on what's going on with this case. But yes, I do believe that they are in cahoots with each other. They do know each other, and they both have something to do with this, in my opinion. What about you, Teresa?
So, of course, police also linked Anthony Shots to the Delphi murders, previously in December 2021. So that's the connection. Now, Kegan himself, in that interview and beyond, has, denied being in touch with Libby, saying he doesn't remember that, and he basically doesn't know what they're talking about. But that was what police asserted in the interview. So it's kind of, you're seeing, not a lot of public, kind of almost a Rorschach test. You're trying to interpret it like, is Kegan somehow telling the truth and this was some sort of interrogation trick? Or were they confronting him with actual information that they have and he's sort of denying it? It's kind of hard to say from the outside, but it's something that really piqued our interest in this angle.
It is certainly interesting. And Anya and Kevin, I know you all are going to stick around. We want to talk about a lot more and go into more of that interview and exactly what's going to happen with that child pornography case. That's coming up, plus a preview of what's coming up in the next hour on Closing Arguments. On the docket in Sarasota County, Florida, a trial filled with lots of bad blood. Gabby Petito was murdered by her fiance, Brian Laundrie. When she went missing, Brian and his parents said nothing to Gabby's parents. Now her parents are suing Brian's parents. We have a preview of tomorrow's hearing.
They knew starting on August 28th of 2021 that Gabby was dead. They knew where Gabby's body was. They knew that the Petito family was desperately searching for information, but they did things affirmatively. They didn't just remain silent.
On the next episode of Accomplice to Murder.
Meredith was a good girl.
Until she met Jimmy Robertson.
He would turn to me and say, I'm going to kill my parents.
It was like helter-skelter.
She knew enough to know I'm an accomplice.
The fate of Meredith hung in the balance.
That goodness had been suspended under Jimmy's spell. The spell was broken when the handcuffs went click.
Accomplice to Murder with Vinnie Politan.
I think a lot of people had questions of why do a plea when you don't have a deal, right? And that's sort of what we saw going into the sentencing. And what was sort of your thinking about that?
He told me to. He told me that would be in my best interest. You save, you take the guilt as one of your mitigating factors, and then you taking the time and money away from the county for having to do a trial. So.
And then the discovery issue, sort of, in your view, kind of threw that into, made you decide something else, essentially?
Yeah.
We know the faces of the victims in the Delphi murder case, Abigail and Liberty. But when it comes to Kegan Kline, the man who has pleaded guilty to child pornography cases and is linked to this Richard Allen Delphi murders case, but has not been charged, focusing on what he has pleaded guilty to, there are nameless, faceless victims in that case. And he now is walking back away from the sentencing hearing and finishing out the punishment for those crimes that he has admitted to, but he is changing his tune now. And the Murder Sheet podcast asked him a specific question about whether or not he did what he has admitted to doing.
Would you consider yourself like a pedophile?
No, I would not. That's even what I put in the PSI now. When, like I told.
I was trying to type something to you, Teresa. Yeah, so reading all them pages is a bit tedious, and you had to take plenty of breaks because all the words just run into each other at times. But the charges that he has with the child pornography and all that he pleaded guilty to, and now is changing to not guilty, but he's not a pedophile? Do you think he's a pet? Let me know. He's a pedophile. Them charges he has, he don't think he's a pedophile. Man, get out of here.
Told in the PSI, when I'm out in public, I don't look at teenage girls or kids. I don't think sexually about them at all. No.
What do you think happened in terms of then, some of the things you're accused of doing?
Like I told in the PSI, it just kind of spiraled out. I mean, I didn't have a girlfriend. I was a lonely guy, and I started talking to girls online, and it just kind of spiraled into something, and I don't know. It just, it's crazy.
He says it just spiraled out of control. Still with us on the phone now. I'm glad you all got to see them the last block, but now we want you to hear them even better. So we fixed the technical difficulty, and we have the hosts of the Murder Sheet podcast, Anya Kane and Kevin Greenlee, on the phone with us. Anya and Kevin, I want to ask you about the sentencing hearing that was to be. Walk us through what has changed and what you've learned now that you've interviewed him that may have you understanding a bit better about why we aren't seeing him sentenced now to what he pleaded guilty to.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's such a great question because, I think a few weeks ago, we thought we were nearing the end of Kegan Kline's legal saga because he had pled guilty to all 25 counts that he was charged with. And he was, en route to be sentenced for those crimes. And the question was, how long in prison will he have to, remain in order to sort of get punished for what he admitted to doing? Come the sentencing hearing, that's thrown on its head. He's fired his defense attorney. It's unclear whether he'll necessarily be able to walk back his plea, although it seems legally possible that he will be able to essentially say, actually, I'm going to undo that guilt.
Is he going to get another attorney, or is he going to defend himself?
Guilty plea, I'm going to just take it to trial.
Okay, I read in the documents he has another attorney. I should have thought before I spoke.
At least on some of the charges. He indicated to us that he believes he's guilty of about 7 charges and innocent of all the rest. So it sort of just throws everything into chaos, essentially.
And so at this point, he is pointing the finger at a relative. He says there are these new documents. And are these documents that you have personally seen? Is it clear on the record what those new documents have in them? And do you define them? I know you've been following this so closely. Do you define them as new?
It appears as if he's referring to two separate things. One thing he's referring to is the transcript of a police interview between Kegan and detectives back in August of 2020. And the other item is related to the phones. And that, according to what prosecutors said in court, was a piece of what they described as demonstrative evidence. In other words, it was something that was made to basically show to a jury. And in this piece of demonstrative evidence, they supposedly took out some key phrases from a report. And this report detailed information about who was accessing Kegan Kline's phone. And Kegan Kline did not have access to this piece of demonstrative evidence, but he did have access prior to that to the whole report.
I see. Well, we will see what happens in this case. Sentencing delayed. I know you all will stay on top of it. Anya Kane, Kevin Greenlee, thank you so much for joining us.
Abby Williams and Libby.
Okay, now I just want to check real quick to see if they had dropped that court hearing. Not yet. Okay, so Adam infatuated with Gabby Petito. Let's go back to that. Oh, hello, Crystal. Hey, GD. You guys, you need to join. What are we gonna call? Well, we're just gonna call it the swamp. Still, we're not gonna change that. So you guys need to join up in the swamp because we have lots of room in there. The water's warm, even though it's a swamp, it's kind of clear, you know. I put white sand all around it so that it's just beautiful. You could sit on the sand. Yep, just join the swamp. You won't regret it. Now, back to is Laura's live over, or are you in both? Just in both. Alright, sorry about that, you guys. So that oh, Jeannie, thank you so much. Back to Adam, the one obsessed with Miss Gabby Petito. Oh no, we already watched that. That's something else. Adam Fravel was infatuated with Gabby Petito and warned ex Madeline Kingsbury she would end up like her before death. The ex-partner of murdered mom Madeline Kingsbury told cops he was infatuated with the Gabby Petito case, a criminal complaint has revealed. He told the cops that he was... Whoa. Adam Fravel, 29, was arrested over Madeline's death this week and later charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder after her body was found. She's so pretty. This is the monster. He is the father of Madeline's 2 children, ages 2 and 5, and the couple lived together until Madeline, 26, disappeared on March 31st, 2023. She was not seen for over 2 months after she and Fravel dropped their son and daughter off at daycare. The mom's body was eventually found on Wednesday near Mabel, Minnesota, about 60 miles southeast of Rochester, the Winona Police Department announced in a Facebook post. She is understood to have been in the process of breaking up with Fravel, who she had an on-again, off-again relationship with for 7 years. At some point, she revealed that she was starting a relationship with a new man, and she was moving out. Oh, yeah. Jealousy. The breakup and her disappearance came after several allegations of domestic violence in the relationship. A friend claimed that they saw Fravel hit Madeline across the face, according to a criminal complaint released on Friday. The document seen by KIM-TV also stated that Fravel admitted to investigators that he was infatuated with the Gabby Petito murder case. One witness told law enforcement that Fravel once told Madeline if she did not listen up, she would end up like Gabby Petito. Family members told investigators of another alleged incident where Fravel put his hands around Madeline's neck, leaving red marks, according to the complaint. Gabby Petito hit national headlines after she went missing in the summer of 2021 while on a road trip with her fiancé, Brian Laundrie. Gabby's remains were found in September of that year, and it was determined that she died from strangulation. Laundrie, a person of interest in the case, later went missing after returning to his family's home in Northport, Florida. He ended his life and his remains were found in a swamp nearly a month to the day that Gabby's body was discovered. Laundrie confessed to killing Gabby in a letter that cops recovered near his body. Investigators found text messages between Fravel and Madeline in which Madeline accused Fravel of putting his hands around her neck and pushing her in front of their children. Not okay with it at all, but especially with them there, she wrote. Fravel responded, "You'll adjust." In the complaint, Fravel didn't admit to killing Madeline, but stated what he believes happened when she went missing. He claimed that the couple dropped their children off at daycare around 8 a.m. before going back home. The murder suspect said he later used Madeline's car to make property storage runs. Fravel said that he wasn't paying attention to what he put in Madeline's van, but said that he began driving to Mabel around 10:15 a.m. He returned home around 11:30 a.m. and claims that he didn't see Madeline, telling police he texted her but didn't get a response, according to the complaint. He said that he stayed at home until it was time to pick up the children from daycare later that afternoon. Madeline's body was found near a public gravel road in an area that law enforcement said is routinely maintained by one or more of the Fravel's family members. How ironic. The area is also near Fravel's parents' home. According to investigators, Madeline's body was wrapped in a gray fitted bedsheet that was bound with black Gorilla Tape. Police said the fabric Madeline was found in matched two pillowcases that was located on an air mattress inside the couple's home. The mattress was missing a fitted sheet, and a roll of the same black Gorilla Tape was also found. Fravel is due back in court on July 20th. This is where they found Madeline's body. So, he knew what he was doing. I wonder if the police... I know. Am I freezing, or is it just Jeannie? Can y'all hear me? Am I okay? So you guys, this is where her body was found, and it just so happens to be maintained by his family. Look, they really need to be cutting their grass and stuff or whatever they're doing. But I wonder if law enforcement searched anywhere around here. Like, I know an officer just pulled up just to, go search that area. Penelope, please stop crying. Come on. Jump off the bed. Come on. Go. I didn't say step all over my stuff, okay? Thank you. Alright, sorry. You know how she is. You guys, she was so horrible on the airplane. Oh my gosh, she was so horrible. She never acted. This is the third time she flies. And never acted a fool like she did this time. I was so embarrassed. From New Orleans to Houston, the poor guy sitting next to me is an older guy, and he was like, just like kids, aren't they? And I was like, yes, sir. And I was like so embarrassed, you know what I mean? Because she's like flipping, and like the whole freaking bag she's in, she sits in a bag under the seat in front of me, right? She's acting a fool the whole time, trying to get out the bag, doing all this, moving around, and her bag starts rolling to the front of the seat in front of me. I grabbed the strap with my foot. But yes, y'all, she was acting a fool. And then from Houston to Tucson, I was sitting next to this young girl, and I was like, she was just laughing because I would get so frustrated with Penelope. I'm like, dude, come on. Yes, Teresa, but let me tell you, it ain't cheap and it ain't free. It's $95 for my baby to ride on a plane. For all that much, she should be able to sit on my lap, right? Well, from Houston to Tucson. And then they were full flights, both of them. So I'm like, oh my God, it's hot in here because it's full people. And my dog's down here acting a fool. And I got to reach under there and try to deal with her, and I'm already hot, and I'm just like, Penelope. So I take her whole bag from under the seat and I just put her in my lap, and and I try to, like, you know, stroke her back or whatever, like through the bag, and then she settled down a little bit, and then it was time to land, and I didn't want the people to be like, oh, you need to go put your dog below the seat in front of you. We are descending. So, like, I just quickly put her down there, and then once we hit the tarmac, I grabbed her again. But, I mean, y'all, she was in that bag from 12 o'clock Central Time to 8 o'clock Central Time. 8 hours she was in that bag. Unless we were in the airport and I would take her out to go for a walk, like, through the airport. Other than that, she was in the bag. So I understand her frustration, but she, you know, she needs to understand my frustration too now. She's a good girl. She's just, you know, she was just as aggravated as me, I guess. Shit, she was probably hotter than I was underneath that thing. Anyway, yeah, she's the boss. Well, okay, speaking of that, so both airports has a little doggy bathroom, little service pet area, right? So it's a door you walk into, and then they have like this little piece of fake grass with a whole fire hydrant in it, and then the other side is like cement, and then they have like a sink and soap and all that. So it stunk so bad in there, y'all. God, they must not clean that place. It stunk so bad to pee, because if your dog poos, you have to, you know, pick it up and throw it away. You can't just leave it. But the pee goes through, you know, the grass or whatever. It was so bad, you guys. Penelope wouldn't even go in there and use it. Yeah, that's how bad it was. The one in Houston, I opened the door, she wouldn't even walk in it. Like, she legit was pulling away to not walk in it. It was crazy. But, yeah. We made it, and she made it, and we're all good. That's the whole thing I was worried about, was Penelope. But anyway, you guys, this is where her body was found. Johnson Trail. I wonder if his family knew she was there. You know what I mean? That's crazy. Okay, so Khori Richins, the one that is accused of murdering her husband with 5 times a lethal dose of fentanyl. So evidently there's a lawsuit. You Tell Mom accused of poisoning husband and writing book about grief made moves to profit from his passing, lawsuit claims. Alright, let's see what this video says. You right, Crystal. She's something else, yeah. She's the boss. Where's the mute button?
After the death of her husband last year, has been charged with murder. Khori Richins is accused of poisoning her husband Eric
with a lethal dose of fentanyl. She told police she made him a vodka cocktail before bed and then went to check on their children. But when she returned hours later, she found him unresponsive. Joining us now to talk more about the case is forensic.
I wonder if she put that fentanyl in his vodka, if it would be noticeable, like a taste, or, dude, she's something else. Crystal definitely knows Penelope. She used to make an appearance on every live, but she doesn't anymore. Yeah, she's something else. Let me go back.
Psychiatrist Dr. Dan Bober.
Dan, thank you so much for joining us. Before we sort of get into the case, because, you know, my first thought was, what type of person would do something like this, allegedly, right? But I think people need a clear understanding of what you do, what a forensic psychiatrist is. We watch on TV, we see profilers, and that's kind of comes under the umbrella. But what do you do when it comes to, murder cases?
So forensic psychiatrists are at the interface of psychiatry and the law. So we look at things like criminal responsibility, for example, not guilty by reason of insanity. We look at competency to stand trial. So anywhere that mental health and the law come together, that's where we are evaluating various patients or defendants.
Okay, so when we look at this case, I think, part of the reason that obviously it's gotten a lot of attention is because we look at a mother who seems to be a devoted mother, wrote this very compelling children's book trying to help the mental health of her children after losing a father. And now, plot twist, she's been charged with his murder. The allegation is that she may have been poisoning him over a long period of time. You're the kind of person who looks at the mental health of someone who would be accused of something like this, just accused. But could you give us some insight into the type of personality that would do something like this? I'm sure you've seen other cases.
Absolutely. These crimes have been going on for hundreds of years, and it was only until the 20th century where we were able to detect these poisons that were being used. But interestingly enough, when the victim is a female, the perpetrator overwhelmingly is a male. When the victim is a male, the perpetrator is equally a female or a male. We also know that the people that poison these victims tend to usually work in the medical field, either doctors, lawyers, laboratory technologists, and that the perpetrators usually tend to be 5 to 10 years younger than their victims. And a full 20% of these crimes go completely unsolved. So we do have somewhat of a psychological profile. But remember, we're only looking at the people who actually got caught, so it's a very small sample size.
And is there a psychological profile associated with someone who chooses poison?
So it tends to be someone that wants to avoid physical confrontation, emotionally immature, cunning, manipulative, conning, someone who sort of doesn't want to get their hands dirty, if you will. So they want to do it from a distance, but yet their victims tend to be intimates, people close to them, a spouse, a child, a friend, an acquaintance. So that tends to be who they are.
So let's talk about the children. I mean, what kind of impact would something like this have on them? I mean, it is unimaginable. I cannot imagine what a child will, we often talk about where people end up in life. And oftentimes it's so interesting. We have these discussions about what to feed children when they're newborn, what to read to them, how to get them to talk, how to get them to develop their personality and their brains, and yet
their self-esteem and all that.
All those things, right? That we spend so much time, millions and billions of dollars of books are written about this stuff, and yet one thing like this can have such a profound impact on a child's life. It's hard to see and hard to understand what might be waiting for them down the path.
And when you think about it, they've lost their father, and now they find out that their mother was the one that took their father from
Allegedly.
them. They've lost, allegedly, they've lost their sense of safety, security, and trust. Their whole world has been shattered. And
Hot, y'all heard that? She shut him down real quick. Allegedly. You can't say it. She's innocent until proven guilty. You know this.
in some ways, they feel like orphans if it turns out that their mother is guilty of this.
Yeah, we'll just reinforce the fact that she's been accused, but then a trial is
Charged but not
underway.
convicted.
But I think the sort of the duplicitous nature, at least at first blush, of writing a book to help one's child through a really bad time, and then being accused of perhaps, plotting.
I really hope they take all of those books down and she makes absolutely no profit off of it.
The death of their own father this is like the kind of stuff that movies.
But here's
are
a
made
question then for both of you.
Psychologically, I find writing the book very interesting. I look at it two ways. Is it some consciousness of guilt where she's looking for some redemption? Or is she so cold and calculating that she's looking to exploit it and profit from it?
So could the state mandate that the children go into therapy from the jump? I mean, this feels to me that you would have to. Okay, I absolutely believe
that Madeline's parents and family are taking care of that, and they are getting therapy for those children. I mean, they just lost both parents. Their father was just murdered by their mother, who will probably spend the rest of her life in prison. So they basically lost both parents. So I do believe that her parents and her family are educated enough to know that they need therapy.
To get ahead of this, because
I mean, I think that's something. I don't know how these things unfold, but I presume that someone would have sort of custody of these children.
Yeah, very often the court system will step in, and whatever in the best interest of the child will happen. Perhaps they will be taken in by other family members or other trusted adults. That's usually what happens in these types of situations.
Dan Bobo, really interesting talking to you. This is such a fascinating case. Thanks for spending some time with us.
Thanks, Vlad. Thanks, Anne-Marie. My pleasure.
Whoops, I remembered. Yeah, she is so pretty. Oh, what is this? Okay. A lawsuit against the Utah woman who wrote a children's book about coping with grief after her husband's death and now stands accused of his fatal poisoning was filed Tuesday, seeking over $13 million in damages for alleged financial wrongdoing before and after his death. Well, you know, I do believe a motive of her killing him. I did hear that they were having financial issues. She has a real estate company, I do believe, and I don't remember what I do believe he had a company as well. Her real estate company, I guess, wasn't doing as well as it was supposed to. So she did have to borrow money from his accounts and stuff. So it was a lot of stuff that, you know, financial stuff that they were going through. And I guess writing this book, you know, she thought she was gonna profit big time off of it, maybe. But, well, I gotta see what this lawsuit is about. The lawsuit was filed against Khori Richins in state court by Katie Richins Benson, his sister. Oh, her sister. Yes, his sister. Okay, I read that wrong. The sister of, all I saw was the sister of Khori Richins. So, Katie Richins Benson is Eric's sister, Khori's sister-in-law. It accuses the woman of taking money from the husband's bank accounts, diverting money intended to pay his taxes, and obtaining a fraudulent loan, among other things, before his death in March 2022. She did. She took out loans and stuff in his name. Khori Richins, go away. We already heard from you. Khori Richins has been charged with murder in her late husband's death. Khori committed the foregoing acts in calculated, systematic fashion and for no reason other than to actualize a horrific endgame, to conceal her ruinous debt, misappropriate assets for the benefit of her personal businesses, orchestrate Eric's demise, and profit from his passing, the lawsuit said. An email message sent to Khori Richins' attorney, Sky Lazaro, was not immediately returned on Wednesday. Prosecutors say Khori Richins, 33, poisoned Eric Richins, 39, by slipping 5 times the lethal dose of fentanyl into a Moscow Mule cocktail she made. See, I keep saying Moscow from Idaho, but it's Moscow, so I'm getting Moscow Mule cocktail she made for him. What's in a Moscow Mule cocktail? Does anybody know? The mother of 3 later self-published a children's book titled Are You With Me? About a deceased father watching over his sons. Well, that's cute because y'all had a son and a daughter. In Richins' book, the boy wonders if his father, who has died, notices his goals at a soccer game, his nerves on the first day of school, or the presents he found under a Christmas tree. Yes, I am with you, an angel wing-clad father figure wearing a trucker hat responds. I am with you when you scored that goal. I am with you when you walked the halls. I'm here and we're together. Months before arrest, Richins told news outlets that she decided to write Are You With Me after her husband unexpectedly died last year, leaving her widowed and raising 3 boys. She said she looked for materials for children on grieving loved ones and found few resources, so decided to create her own. She planned to write sequels. I wonder if she will write sequels in jail. I just wanted some story to read to my kids at night, and I just could not find anything, she told Good Things Utah about a month before her arrest. CBS affiliate KUTV reported the dedication section of the book reads, dedicated to my amazing husband and a wonderful father. According to the 48-page lawsuit, Khori Richins began having serious financial troubles in 2016 and started stealing money from her husband. In 2020, Eric learned that Khori had withdrawn more than $200,000 from his bank account and that she had charged over $30,000 on his credit card, the suit says. Eric confronted Khori about the stolen money, and Khori admitted she had taken the money, the lawsuit says. The lawsuit also seeks to bar Richins from selling the book and turn over any money made from it, saying it makes references to events and details from Eric Richins' life and his relationship with his children. Absolutely. Don't y'all agree? If anything, the proceeds of that book needs to go to those children. In the criminal case, the defense has argued the prosecutor simply accepted the narrator from Eric Richins' family that his wife had poisoned him and worked backwards in an effort to support it, spending about 14 months investigating and not finding sufficient evidence to support their theory. Lazaro has said the prosecution's case, based on Richins' financial motives, proved she was bad at math, not that she was guilty of murder. That last line, you guys, that last line. And last, but I keep checking Court TV, y'all. They have not dropped that video of Majorjon's. Oh, I'm getting impatient, you guys. Last but not least, Adam Montgomery. Defense prosecution agreed to delay Adam Montgomery's murder trial. Judge approves motion. Oh my God. My reason unclear as to why defense made request. All right, let's see what this says. I know they delayed it to November. 1.5 ounce vodka, 1 6-ounce lime juice, 4 ginger beer. Gross.
Adam Montgomery was set to go on trial in August, but on Wednesday, his defense team filed a motion to move it to November. Court documents show both the defense and prosecution have agreed to this move. The judge granted the request, which means jury selection will be on November 20th, with the trial starting immediately after. It's still unclear as to why his attorneys made this request. Montgomery is charged with second-degree murder, witness tampering, falsifying of physical evidence, and
you guys, he kind of favors, damn it, who just killed their 3 kids? What's his name? Shit, what's his, Chad Dorman. They favor each other, in my opinion.
And abuse of a corpse. A grand jury indictment for second-degree murder accuses Montgomery of recklessly causing his daughter Harmony's death by repeatedly striking her in the head with a closed fist. Investigators believe Montgomery killed 5-year-old Harmony in December of 2019.
Reading what happened to her really upsets everyone, but the thing is, they lived in a vehicle. If they didn't take her to go use the bathroom, what else is she supposed to do? You know what I mean? She has to release it at some point in time, and if you don't take her to a restroom, what else is she supposed to do? You know, she's gonna potty in the car. It doesn't mean that you're gonna continue to beat her every time she potties in the car and then, oops, I think I really messed up this time. Get out of here.
Harmony's remains have not been found. The Attorney General's office tells us it is not commenting on Montgomery's trial. An attorney for Montgomery has.
Y'all see that pimple coming out his head right there? That's going to be a horn. That's a horn growing. Do you see that?
Has not returned our requests for comment. And in the meantime, Harmony's mother, Crystal Sorey, tells us today she is hopeful her daughter's remains will be found and says she knows police are working tirelessly to find Harmony. Reporting live in the studio, I'm Tim Kaylor, WMUR News 9.
No more surprises at checkout.
Entertainment giants Live Nation.
Well, I tried to pause it to begin with, but yes, that's his horn growing out, girl. Let me find the other side. If they got one on the other side, I'm so done. The trial of a man accused of killing his daughter in 2019 will be delayed. Adam Montgomery's murder trial, which was originally scheduled for this summer, will now move to the late fall, with jury selection now slated to begin November 20th. You guys, so how long do they think this... Did they say how long they expect the trial to last? November 20th? Well, isn't Thanksgiving like only a couple of days later? And then a month later is Christmas? So I wonder how long they expect and how they're going to do this holiday stuff with the how many days they're going to take off for the holidays, and that might mess with the jury, you guys. I don't know. A motion filed by the defense shows both parties agreed to the move. A judge granted the request. It's unclear right now as to why the defense made the request. Investigators believe Montgomery killed his 5-year-old daughter, Harmony, in December 2019. That Harmony had disappeared was not known by law enforcement officers for more than 2 years. In January, a grand jury indicted Adam Montgomery for second-degree murder, alleging he recklessly caused Harmony's death by repeatedly striking her in the head with a closed fist. A 7-hour multi-agency search operation was conducted last week in a Revere, Massachusetts, I can't say that state, marsh not far from the neighborhood where murder suspect Montgomery was raised for a few years by his grandparents. What investigators were hoping to find was not disclosed, but locating Harmony's remains is a priority. You guys, I really hope that he, at least if he gets convicted, which we know he will, but again, we have to say alleged because he's innocent until proven guilty. I really hope that he does tell law enforcement where she is. I really do. But then again, you guys, you have to think of this. Summer Wells was 5, Harmony's 5. How many years has this been? 90, 20. This summer was 2 years, so Harmony's like 4 years. 2022, 20. 4 years. If he just like placed her somewhere that's not in like an enclosed space, like a bag or something like that, or buried, it's gonna be very hard to find a 5-year-old. You know what I mean? It's so sad. I just really hope that he tells where she is, just so that, you know, her mom and the rest of the family can have some sort of closure and, you know, lay her to rest. That's just so sad. I'm not Stone Gator no more, Janie. November 23rd. Thank you. So it's 3 days after. Okay, so let's see. They can do jury selection starts on the 20th. So I guess they're gonna maybe start the trial after Thanksgiving, and maybe it'll last till maybe right before Christmas. I hope they don't have to take a holiday. But yes, Jeannie, I'm not Stone Gator no more. In addition, News 9 Investigates was the first to report that in March, 2 detectives from the Manchester Police Department traveled to Florida and met with Montgomery's father and grandmother. It was called a courtesy visit, according to one source. Detectives shared new gruesome, upsetting details about Harmony's death that the family had not heard before. Although Harmony's remains are still missing, investigators told News 9 they have amassed a lot of evidence from numerous locations in Manchester that will prove their case. Before the murder trial begins, Montgomery will be tried on weapon charges, including being a career armed criminal, and 2 new charges that were just added to the case. If convicted in the weapons case, he could be sentenced to 70 years in prison. Isn't that what he just went through? Yeah, he was found guilty. Was he sentenced yet? I put a poll in the community wall asking if y'all wanted to watch the trial. It's only 5 days long, the trial of his weapons. And I got 50-50. You guys aren't helping me any. I think y'all did that on purpose. Always trying to confuse me. You know how that goes. Anyway, so... And then I got a request to do another trial. So... I don't know, you guys. We'll see. Okay, so I have Majorjon Kaylor, Alexee Trevizo, Adam Fravel, Khori Richins, Adam Montgomery, Brian Koberger, Kegan, Kline, and Richard Allen. Those are the cases that I'm following. 7. No. Do I have time to do trials? That's what's up, Jeannie. That's my girl. The Attorney General's office tells News 9 it is not commenting on Adam Montgomery's trial. An attorney for Montgomery has not returned News 9's request for comment. Harmony Montgomery's mother, Crystal Sorry, said she is hopeful her daughter's remains will be found before Montgomery's trial, and said she knows the police are working tirelessly to find the 5-year-old little girl. Anyone with information about the case can call or text a 24-hour tip line at 603-203-6060. Look at that precious little girl. I'll go ahead and read the timeline. I think pretty much everybody knows what happened, but I'm gonna read it. So this is the timeline. June 2014. Harmony is born. Crystal Sorry is her sole caretaker, and her father, Adam Montgomery, is in prison. How convenient. I wonder what his background is. Does he have like a long rap sheet? August 2014 to January 2018. Harmony is removed from Sorry's care 3 times because of neglect related to drug use, according to a Massachusetts report. Harmony visits her father in prison twice, in January and July 2015. September 2015. Adam Montgomery is released from prison and moves to New Hampshire. September 2016. 1 year after his release, Adam Montgomery contacts the Massachusetts Department of... I know you're not growling at me. Department of Children and Families for the first time to resume visits with Harmony. So, 2015, July, September, so a little over a year. And 1 year since he got released from prison. February 2017, after visiting with Harmony once per month for 5 months, Adam Montgomery stops responding to DCF requests for future meetings. August 2018. Adam Montgomery meets with Harmony for the first time in 11 months and the 9th time in her life. He had contacted DCF in September 2017 after a 7-month period with no contact. Look how cute, guys! Crystal Sorry, July 2018. Crystal Sorry, mother of Harmony Montgomery, loses custody of her daughter in Massachusetts. Sorry later tells police she lost custody because of drug addiction issues, and Harmony was placed in a foster home in Haverhill. December 19, 2018, the Massachusetts Department of Children and Families requests a home study by the New Hampshire Division of Children, Youth, and Families at the Montgomery's home in Manchester. The request did not include the necessary information to initiate a home study, New Hampshire officials say. Wow, one state calls another state, but there wasn't necessary information to initiate a home study? Harmony's father, Adam Montgomery, is February 2019. Is granted legal custody of the girl, is granted legal custody of Harmony by a family court judge in Lawrence, Massachusetts. DCYF officials are notified of the custody decision before it receives the additional information it requested for the home study. Easter 2019. Khori says she spoke to her daughter on a FaceTime call around this time. She says this was the last time she saw Harmony.
Well, Harmony's mother, along with her family, gathered here at this park in Manchester tonight. Everyone coming together, vowing to bring Harmony home. Crystal Khori holds hands with her family as they gather for a vigil and pray for the safe return of her daughter, Harmony Montgomery. The 7-year-old girl has not been seen since October of 2019. Crystal last saw Harmony in April of that year.
Last time I saw her was Easter. I had a FaceTime with her. I showed her her basket. I said, next time I see you, you're going to have this basket I got you.
But Crystal says after that call, Harmony's father and legal custodian Adam Montgomery cut all ties with her and her family.
Everyone, family, me, like even my sister reached out, others. Nothing.
Worried about her daughter, Crystal says for months she called DCYF, law enforcement, anyone who could help her track down Harmony.
Anybody I could, I reached out to all my family, listen, we need to come forward, something's happening.
But it wasn't until 2 years later, New Year's Eve 2021, when Manchester police announced a missing persons investigation for Harmony after officials say they became aware of her disappearance just days earlier. Since then, police have set up a hotline, established a $94,000 reward for information, and conducted numerous searches for Harmony. On Saturday, investigators were at her last known address, a home on Guilford Street. And as they continue to follow leads, Crystal says she has made it her mission to bring Harmony home. Never giving up.
No, never. We're coming, we're going to bring her home. None of us. We're never going to stop.
And now if you have any information on the whereabouts of Harmony Montgomery, you can contact the Manchester Police Department at 603-203-6060. Reporting in Manchester, I'm Tim Kaylor, WMUR News 9.
Hey guys, hold on one moment. They're ordering supper and I need to see what I want. So let's see. You guys can help me decide. Chicken. Mike's Chicken Philly. Grilled onions, peppers, white American cheese. Chipotle. No, I don't like Chipotle sauce. Ew, I don't like mushrooms. Let's see. Lettuce, tomato, mayo, and white American cheese. Not available in all locations. Guess it's available in California, though. I don't like buffalo sauce. Philly. No, thank you. Okay, I guess I'm going to get the Bacon Ranch Chicken Cheesesteak. Has applewood smoked bacon, lettuce, tomato, white American cheese, and ranch dressing. Here you go. That's what I want to. Thank you. With
What
everything.
kind of brand?
Well, oh, what kind they have?
They have white, rosemary, and Parmesan, and
She cried to get down, and now she's crying to get up. I tried telling my friends on YouTube how she's acting and how she acted in the airplane. So, I guess just regular bread.
Okay.
At full long stock, I have one now and then one tomorrow.
Well.
Yeah. Because I only eat once a day. Sorry, guys. That's what I'm getting. Now you all know. I never ate that place before. Jersey Mike's. Dude, stop growling at me. You are not the boss. Mama is the boss. Okay? Let me see. Penelope, you want to act the fool? You're gonna show my friends who you are, okay? Let Mama hide behind you. Let's see. This is Penelope, everyone. This is the boss. She hates the camera. This is the boss. This is Penelope. When I'm fussing at her, this is who she is, okay? Okay. Now you guys know. Let's see. Alright, let's finish this. It's almost done. July 29, 2019. DCYF receives an anonymous call alleging abuse. The caller says Harmony had a black eye when the caller visited her Guildford Street home in Manchester the week before. A child protective service worker visits the home and emails Manchester police to say no eye injury was observed. Didn't she really have a black eye though? August 7, 2019. A child protective service worker visits the home again and interviews Harmony and Adam and Kaylor Montgomery. The worker notes a red mark in Harmony's eye and faded bruising under her eyelid. But so that would be like a week. And she still had bruising under her eyelid. But she didn't have a black eye, right? Adam Montgomery says the mark was caused when she was struck by a toy while playing with a sibling. The caseworker also speaks to Sori, who tells the agency she lost custody of Harmony to Adam. October 1st, 2019. The final visit from a child protective service worker to the Guildford Street house. The worker reports the children appeared happy and healthy. The assessment concludes that the report of abuse was unfounded, but the family was at high risk for future child welfare concerns. November or December 2019. According to Kaylor Montgomery, Adam Montgomery told her around this time that he was taking Harmony to Lowell, Massachusetts, where her mother lives. Kaylor Montgomery later tells police this is the last time she saw Harmony. When looking to learn more about Harmony Montgomery's disappearance, police narrowed the time frame from November 28th to December 10th, 2019. Investigators later revealed they believe Harmony was killed in early December 2019. I hope it wasn't around my birthday. My birthday's in early December. January 8, 2020, a referral was received by DCYF about the Montgomery household. Adam Montgomery tells a child protective service worker that Harmony is living with her mother. What? And has been sent. Whatever. The child protective service worker leaves a voicemail for Sori to confirm Harmony's address. Officials say she did not return the call. September 2021, a person close to Sori contacts DCYF and raises concern that Sori hasn't seen Harmony since 2019. DCYF confirms Harmony has never been registered for school in Manchester. Penelope, stop. Go! What are you whining for? Jeez Louise, I'm almost done. DCYF attempts to locate the Montgomery family. November 18, 2021. Sori calls Manchester police saying she hasn't seen her daughter since the Easter 2019 FaceTime call. Do y'all hear her? Do y'all hear her? What? Come on. Yeah, I'm not scratching you right now. I'm too busy. You're going to have to wait. Manchester police say their phone records indicate that this is the only call the department has received from Sori. December 27, 2021. So, Easter of 19, over 2 years, and just calling and saying that you haven't heard from her, seen her for 2 years. DCYF notifies Manchester police they are unable to locate Harmony. Police start search for Harmony's father. Sori sends a letter to Manchester Mayor Joyce Craig begging for help finding her daughter. That was December 29th. December 31st, detectives find Adam Montgomery living in his car with his new girlfriend. Police describe him as uncooperative and refusing to provide information on Harmony's whereabouts. Police also interview Kaylor Montgomery. Manchester police hold a press conference announcing the search for Harmony.
Right now, Manchester police are desperate for any information to lead them to a missing 7-year-old girl. Harmony Montgomery was last seen at a residence in the city in October of 2019, but police say she wasn't reported missing to them until this week.
We cannot investigate things if they're not brought to our attention. And when this was brought, we're on it.
Investigators aren't commenting on Harmony's parents or how they found out she was missing, only saying they have spoken to her family members.
So what's happened in the last 2 years? Fair question, all right? That's why I'm here today, because we need assistance, we need help.
These pictures of Harmony were taken when she was about 5 years old. She has blonde hair, blue eyes, and is blind in her right eye, so she could be wearing glasses. Police say she may have been going to school in Massachusetts when she was last seen.
We're on the holidays, and no time is a good time for a child to go missing, but I'm imploring, I'm asking, even I'll go as far as I'm begging the community, all right? I don't care if you saw this young girl a year ago and you think it's irrelevant. Call us.
Manchester's police chief saying he's using every available resource.
Doesn't that sound totally different than Hawkins County with the Summer Wells case? Manchester police are like, I don't care if you think it's irrelevant. I want to know. Hawkins County is like, don't bother us.
To find Harmony as soon as possible.
I have detectives working on this that all have children of their own. I do not doubt their level of commitment, and we're going to stay at this 24/7.
Anyone who might be able to help is urged to call Manchester Police or the department's crime line. Reporting live in Manchester tonight, Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9.
Thank you for sharing my life out, Avery. I appreciate that. January 3rd, 2022. A 24-hour tip line is set up. Anyone with information is asked to call 603-203-6060. A reward fund eventually grows to $144,000. January 4th, 2022. The FBI joins Manchester Police to search the Guilford Street property where the Montgomerys used to live. Nothing is found in the 2-day search that includes digging in the backyard. All this money being spent to try to find Harmony, and this monster right here can just tell everybody where she is. It's sickening. January 4th, 2022. Adam Montgomery is arrested and charged with second-degree assault, interference with custody, and endangering the welfare of a child. January 6, 2022, Kaylor Montgomery is arrested and charged with felony welfare fraud. This charge is later dropped and a new felony charge of theft is filed. February 25th, 2022. A report is released by Governor Chris Sununu's office releasing new details in the investigation and making recommendations for new protections for children in custody disputes. March 13th, 2022. Kelsey Small, a woman who was dating Harmony Montgomery's father before his arrest, is found dead in Manchester. I did not know that. Hold up a minute. Kelsey Small, a woman who was dating Adam before his arrest, is found dead in Manchester. She did not face charges in connection with the case, and her death is not considered suspicious. Weird. April 4th, 2022. Adam Montgomery is arrested on new charges of theft by unauthorized taking for allegedly stealing a rifle and shotgun, 2 charges of receiving stolen property for allegedly receiving or retaining the rifle and the shotgun, 2 charges of felon in possession for allegedly possessing the rifle and the shotgun after having been convicted of 1 or more qualifying felonies, and 2 charges of armed career criminal for allegedly possessing the rifle and the shotgun after having been convicted of 3 or more qualifying felonies. And that's why he is looking at 70 years. Investigators say the alleged thefts occurred between September 29 and October 3rd, 2019 in Manchester. April 12th, 2022. Hi, Mallory. Oh, hey, Mallory. That's Brittany's Mallory, right? Hi, Mallory. It's nice to see you. April 12, 2022, Kayla Montgomery, 31, is charged with 2 counts of receiving stolen property in connection with the alleged theft of firearms. Investigators again say there is no evidence that the charges are related to Harmony's disappearance. May 4, 2022, a report from the Massachusetts Office of the Child Advocate is released. The report outlines several mistakes, surprise, surprise, Massachusetts agencies allegedly made regarding the girl's care before she lived in New Hampshire and eventually disappeared. May 7, 2022, Kayla Montgomery is released from jail where she was held for 4 months. She was ordered to check in with Manchester Police daily and continue with substance abuse treatment. She's also ordered to not have any contact with Anna Montgomery or to leave New Hampshire. June 3rd, 2022. I didn't know it was this long. Kayla Montgomery is arrested on perjury charges. She is accused of lying during grand jury testimony about when and where she was at work during the window of time that Harmony Montgomery was last seen and accounted for. She was released from jail 3 days later. June 14th to 15th, 2022. Officials searched Anna Montgomery and Kayla Montgomery's former apartment, hauling a fridge out. Investigators were assisted by a sewer plumbing team. Sources told News 9 that new, credible information from a person close to the investigation led to the search of the apartment. August 11, 2022. Attorney General John Formella says investigators now believe that Harmony was killed in early December 2019. He said the investigation is now a homicide investigation. So it took till August 2022. September 9th, 2022. Kayla Montgomery is arrested on a bench warrant after she failed to show up for a hearing. Her bail is revoked on September 13th. Wow. October 4th, 2022, body camera footage obtained by News 9 Investigates shows the first interactions between Manchester Police and Anna Montgomery. October 20th, 2022, some of the evidence prosecutors hope to introduce in Anna Montgomery's firearms trial can't be admitted, a judge rules. Avery, whose trial are you talking about? Adam or the Zachariah? Is that it, Zachariah? October 24th, 2022. Attorney General John Formella announces that Anna Montgomery has been arrested and charged with second-degree murder in the death of Harmony Montgomery. Court documents showed Kayla Montgomery told investigators details about the killing of Harmony in June. I think, didn't she do that to get like a deal or something? Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm covering it. And I'm going to try to do his weapons trial also. And if you notice in my upcomings at the end of the week, I have Zachariah, his trial. Let's see. It doesn't say how long it is. 9 minutes. Y'all probably already saw that. November 18th. It's just, I guess, a press release saying that they're charging him with the second-degree murder and the homicide of Harmony. November 18th, 2022, Kayla Montgomery pleads guilty to 2 felony counts of perjury. The charges Kayla Montgomery took responsibility for are not related to the disappearance or death of her stepdaughter, Harmony. Under the plea agreement, Kayla Montgomery has agreed to fully cooperate in future state proceedings, which could include testifying in Anna Montgomery's murder trial. See, there it is right there. November 22nd, 2022. It is decided at a hearing that Anna Montgomery's separate trials regarding a stolen weapons case and his daughter's killing will take place in 2023. January 26, 2023. Anna Montgomery is indicted by a grand jury on a charge of second-degree murder in the killing of his daughter, Harmony. April 6, 2023, in a report that don't laugh at me when I try to say this word. The Massachusetts Office of the Child Advocate expresses concerns officials aren't doing enough to consider what's in the best interest of the child during custody cases after the Harmony Montgomery case led to calls for change. Of course, because they admitted to making mistakes. April 7, 2023, Manchester Police, Massachusetts State Police, and other law enforcement agencies search wetlands along Route 107 in Revere. The New Hampshire Attorney General's office confirms the search is in connection with the Harmony Montgomery case. She has all them crazy fonts. Do the one that I don't like, Crystal. June 1st, 2023. Testimony begins in Adam Montgomery's weapons trial. He is facing 6 charges, 2 counts of each being an armed career criminal. So he's already a felon. I wonder what his previous charges were. Receiving stolen property and theft by unauthorized taking. June 5th, 2023. Kaylor Montgomery testifies at Adam Montgomery's weapons trial. She tells jurors that her husband told her he had stolen guns. The defense presses her, saying she has changed her story over time. June 8th, 2023. Adam Montgomery is found guilty of all counts in his weapons trial. The most serious charges being an armed carrier criminal carry minimum sentences of 10 years in prison. I thought we read all a while ago 70 years. 70. June 20th, 2023. An affidavit released detailing the investigation of Harmony Montgomery's death. It shows that police believe Adam Montgomery punched her several times in the face on December 7th, a week after my birthday, killing her. It goes on to describe ways in which Adam Montgomery allegedly hid her body. Dang, man. Why? Every day somebody's hurting their children. And I can't have children. Do you know how this upsets me so much? That is the freaking font I don't like, Avery. There it is, Crystal. Hit the like, a double dog dare you. That's the one right there. And let me see real quick while I'm still live if they still didn't add the video. Let me try KBTV or whatever it is. KTVB? Yep, there it is. Let's see. So I am waiting for Court TV or KTVB to drop Majorjon Kaylor's preliminary hearing today. As soon as that's dropped, I will be coming live. If it's 30 minutes from now, an hour, or whatever, I will be going live and playing it. I cannot wait to see this preliminary hearing. If you're not sure who Majorjon Kaylor is, he is accused of, he's accused of killing his neighbors, 4 people in northern Idaho. The neighbor's 18-year-old son pulled out his penis in front of the window and did a sexual act when his 2 minor children were outside playing and his wife, and they saw this. So they made a police report, and the police report went to the DA's office, and the DA's office didn't charge him fast enough, so Majorjon took it upon himself to go and kill them, all 4 of them. And he shot the mom first, 1 bullet, the dad next, 1 bullet, a 16-year-old child, 1 bullet, and then the 18-year-old had several bullets. And I'm really interested in this case. It's so crazy, you guys. Idaho, we have Majorjon Kaylor, quadruple murder in northern Idaho. They're not seeking the death penalty. He did the everybody once, but the 18-year-old, he did shoot multiple times. But everybody else, I don't care. Shoot, who was playing? Oh, that was y'all. 3 Dave made Dumplin play this short he had on his live, and it said the P word and all that stuff. It was really nasty and disrespectful. But how else would I say it? I wish I had kids so bad, and here's these. Teresa, that's the same with me. It irritates me and upsets me. No, I mean he pulled it out more than once. Oh, okay. I thought you said he shot them multiple times. I understand now. Thank you. Yeah, do you not see him, Avery? Or I guess it's a guy. So he did it after they made the police report, Doms? Is that what you're saying? or more than one time before the police report. Because if he did it again after the police made a report, then I can actually see why he got so pissed off and actually did what he did. Ew, so sad. But he was protecting his minor daughters in a way, yet he needed to go the legal route. You know what I mean? He needed to wait for the process. Everything has a process. And unfortunately, because anger and rage took over, that now he's probably gonna spend his life in prison. At least he won't be on death row. But I wonder if that not seeking the death penalty has something to do with the police report and that issue. I'm not sure. What do you think about that, Doms? Oh, really? I didn't know that. So that could be why Dad snapped. Do you think that could be why they're not going after the death penalty with him? Because Lost and I were talking about that last night, on her panel. He's a hero. So you think that's why they're not going after... Come on, Penelope. Come on. It's okay. We'll stop crying. Okay, that's what we thought. Okay. So they have that one in northern Idaho. Then they have Lori and Chad in eastern Idaho. And they have Brian in southern Idaho. And then they have Monkey Vaughn in western Idaho. What is wrong with Idaho, people? I don't know. I really don't know. But, anyways, I have to... Well, Doms, I really am glad that you're in here because... Well, let's see. Okay, so Chad Dorman confessed yet said not guilty, right? But he admitted to it. But isn't he getting the... Penelope, isn't he getting the death penalty? Even though he admitted to it? I don't know. I'm staying far away from Idaho as far as I can. I am so glad that all of you are in here with me. I really am. Now I have people to talk to. And my bestest mod in the whole wide world. Are you still in here? Yes. I suspect he's going to plead insanity. Who? Chad or not Majorjon? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that dude. I'm like really impatient waiting for this. Very impatient. But I don't know. In northern Kellogg, Idaho. I don't know what time zone that is. So I think it's 1 hour ahead of me. So it would be 8 o'clock over there, right? It's 7 here. So maybe they're just getting back from court and uploading the videos, Thanks, Crystal. I love ya. Thank you, Avery. I appreciate that. Mountain time. So that's 1 hour. 1 hour past my time. So it should be 8 there, right? I don't know. So I'm just telling you, look for me tonight, because if it's dropped tonight, I am coming live. And I'm sorry I'm 2 hours. I'm sorry I'm 2 and 3 hours behind. Okay, that's what I thought. I'm 2 and 3 hours behind everybody. So if it comes out late on y'all end, but not late here, I'll just play it and then you guys can watch the replay tomorrow. Yeah, so it's 8 over there. Yeah. Okay. Man, y'all, this is how I felt during the Lori trial, because you know that I streamed every single day of that trial, and one day I missed a day for some reason. I forgot, and so the next day I streamed both days, the day I missed and that present day. I was live till like 2 o'clock in the morning, and Rock Jim and Kaz and Lily were like with me the whole entire time. It was like almost 10 hours. But I did it, you guys. I can do trials. I love trials. And so look at this, you guys. Let me show y'all this real quick, because I really thought that it was kind of cool. You guys join the swamp. Join the swamp. Jeannie just joined. How's the water, Jeannie? Are you still in here? Crystal, how's the water over in the swamp? Avery, you need to become a member since you want to share me out, girl. You need to be a member. Okay, let me show y'all this. This is pretty cool, I think. Michael Jackson sex abuse accusers may see day in court. Now, does that mean that it's going to be against Michael?
Thank you so much for joining us.
I just want to play the beginning to see if he says. How does that even happen? Oh, thank you, Avery. The water is perfect. It was hard with just the audio, but we got through it, guys. We got through it every single day. And I've said this before, but hopefully for the trial in Arizona, I will be hopefully able to attend that trial. But I just want to hear the beginning. I'm not playing this whole video. Thank you, Avery. I really appreciate that. You don't know how much I appreciate that.
So here closing arguments, and yeah, here I am. What year is it? It's 2023. And tonight, top of the show, we're going to talk about Michael Jackson. Two of his accusers are now, it seems, according to a report from the LA Times, getting a new chance in their lawsuit against Michael Jackson's production company. Apparently, a letter was sent to the lawyer.
Oh, that's what it is. Well, now you in the swamp. Watch out for them gators. Chomp, chomp, chomp. That's what it is. It's for a lawsuit against, I guess, his estate. Huh. When is this happening?
Lawyers, and the LA Times is reporting that, yeah, this is now going to be a trial. We shall see if that becomes official. But we're talking about Michael Jackson in 2023. Now, who are the accusers that we're talking about? Very familiar faces. If you saw the HBO documentary Leaving Netherlands, they're the subject of it. Or anything like that.
Oh, snap-a-doodle. Oh, shit. I didn't hit mute. Have y'all seen that documentary that he's talking about? Because I haven't.
He told me if they ever found out what we were doing, he and I would go to jail for the rest of our lives. I want to be able to speak the truth.
Oops, I muted myself. I didn't the first time. Can I even play this thing? This part of the show? We'll see. No, I can't play it. Okay, I'm not gonna play it. It's just the two victims, and I guess their interview from leaving. What's it called? Neverland? Neverland. So, oh my God, you're so confusing me. No, I cannot, or yes, I can. I give up. I'm not doing it. But I'm going to follow this because I'm really interested. Do you guys think that Michael Jackson did this? Do you guys think that he actually did this? I don't know. And it's pretty sad that... How long has he been dead for, you guys? This was the early... Oh, let's see. 2010, I left my ex-husband. So it was like 2008, 2009? Something like that, Michael Jackson died? And now they're going to court now with a lawsuit? I don't know. I'm going to have to look into this. I love Michael Jackson, you guys. You know what I really love to watch? I'm going to say this and then I'm going to end. Because I'm hoping it will all, the Majorjon Kaylor stuff will drop. But, I forgot what I was going to say. However, Brian Kohlberger, I am not going to talk about him on my case until the trial. I am just so confused. I am so lost. I am so everything in that case. Penelope. Oh, geez, Lord. You asked us if he watched it. And, I asked if you watched it. And then I asked if I can play it. Okay. I don't know if you can play it. I was saying not. You haven't watched it. I think he really liked children generally. And because he has money, they keep up crap. Yeah, Avery, I so agree with that. You, Crystal, you already know what's up. Yeah. Do y'all hear her? 2009. I knew it was 2008 or 2009. Thank you, Crystal. Because I left my ex-husband in 2010. I know it happened before that. But I didn't watch it either. So, I don't know. I guess I'm not interested in watching it. That's what I was going to say, you guys. So, I love to watch the Michael Jackson, what do you call them? The ones that dress up like him and dance like him? Impersonators. I love to watch them because, you know, a lot of them like go to airports and streets and do shows. I just love to watch them. Yeah, she's talking to me, dude. Now she wants to get out the door. I swear, y'all. And if I'm not live, she doesn't do this. Just like a kid. Just like that man said on the airplane. Just like a kid. And now she's making all kind of noises to me. Talking about, I want to go out. I want to go out. Goodness gracious. Yes, and to all the people, all the women out there that were unable to have children, like me. And we see all of these parents hurting their children. Killing their children. People like us. Oh, stop. People like us will take your child and take care of it and love it. It's, oh my God, it breaks my heart that all these children are getting hurt and murdered. And like Teresa and I know I'm gonna do it now if she comes back. Penelope, come here. Come here first, Mama. Yeah, she's mad at me because I totally am ignoring her. I'm gonna have to show her another time. But, yeah. So, make a video of you moonwalking and I will put it on my channel. Only if it looks cool. Thank you, Crystal. You're the bestest estes mod. I can't say that because Jeannie's a good mod too. All my mods are good and all my people are good. Okay, guys. I'm going to not finish, but go over more documents on Richard Allen. And I will be live tomorrow with that. Oh, yeah. I am going to go live tomorrow before fireworks. I am taking Nevaeh to fireworks. And, I think it starts maybe at like 7 or something. So when I go live, y'all probably be just finished doing fireworks. So it's okay if you can't attend my live tomorrow about Rich. I can do it for the next day because I know that you guys want to talk about it also. So I will schedule Richard Allen for Wednesday since everybody's got plans and busy for tomorrow. Bye, Crystal. I love you. That's what I'll do. And tomorrow I'll find something else to come live about. And that way we'll be able to have a discussion on the Richard Allen documents. Does that sound like a good idea? I should just see yeses and no nos. I really appreciate everybody that's in here. If you can support the channel, we have the Swamp membership available. It would be a blessing if I get some members. A real blessing. Anyways, I will see you guys maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. It depends on when Court TV gets their crap together and releases it. So I will see all of you later. Hopefully, if the video is dropped. If not, I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to hit the fire. Oh my God, I was about to say hit that fire. Hit that firework. Hit that thumbs up for me. If you're not subscribed, subscribe and hit that bell. There are fireworks tonight, Avery? I love Lady B. And I don't really know Val. I know Shay from Lost Souls. But anyway, y'all have a good night. And I will see you all later. Bye.